Now then, look who's here, the main man. How are you, Mr. Hughes? You good?
Never been better. How about you?
Well, I like that. Never been better. Watching you be interviewed by various media members in the build-up to this, it feels like, when you say never been better, it feels like this is your happy place. Is that a fair assessment of?
I don't know if happy place is the term. I would just say it's more of a total in the zone place that I'm in right now. And now there is obviously contentment in that zone. But I've never felt this deeper level of focus and, as I say, in the zone before. I've never felt this. It's kind of weird. I feel like I'm a real different part of my being right now. This last few weeks I've just been in a different place, but it's a nice place to be.
People in the world of MMA have known about you for a long period of time. I kind of have referred to you in the past as like Britain and Ireland's best kept secret. But then the AJ McKee fight comes along, and it feels like, I don't know whether it's the same for you, but a lot of more people are talking about Paul Hughes now. It seems to have blown up a little bit more now, even though it was always kind of that case on the British and Irish scene. Is that the case? Are you feeling that? Are you feeling that there's more interest from a worldwide perspective on you now?
Yeah, absolutely, no question. I mean, the AJ fight changed everything for me. I think that was my introduction to the world stage of MMA. My debut with PFL was still in Dublin. It wasn't against a bigger named opponent. So I was still like touching that regional scene kind of base. But, you know, I'd done a lot of really, really good work in the regional scene, winning the Cage Warriors belt, unifying the belt, doing huge events with them. So I built a really good following, and it's been like a nice slow burn. So people who have known know. And then whenever I got to break onto that world stage, then it was just like, all the people that have been following me have been like, yeah, we knew this kid was ready for this, and I was just waiting for that opportunity to get out there on the world stage, and fighting AJ McKee was the perfect opportunity, and I smashed it.
The thing that I find amusing is when people speak to me about fights that you've had in Cage Warriors, because they hadn't seen them previously, so they've obviously come to terms with you with the AJ McKee fight, and then they're referring back to the show. I said, yeah, I know, he's been like this for ages. He's been in must-see, absolute blockbusters for a long period of time. Are you noticing people, maybe in America now, when you're going over to America and speaking to people over there, are you noticing people recognizing you a little bit more and life-changing on that perspective too?
Yeah, big time. Being in America, excuse me, for part of my last training camp there, I was getting recognized in the streets for the first time, which is a new experience, you know, and it's not something I really expected to happen this early. So that's cool. Life has certainly changed in every single regard since my last fight. Like, there's absolutely no question. So I'm just ready for the next step now.
You spent a lot of camp in Florida?
I spent like probably a month in Florida this time. Florida is a little bit of a better climate than Belfast in December.
I can imagine.
But I ended up actually staying there over Christmas. I didn't intend to, but I just kind of stayed and kept myself just in that place for this camp, because it's such a huge opportunity ahead of me. So I stayed over Christmas and then came back, was in Belfast for some time, and then I've been now in Dubai for almost 3 weeks.
That is a big decision. Obviously, like you said, there's a job to do, you've got business ahead of you, and therefore under a normal time in the calendar year, that might be a very straightforward decision. But Christmas is big, you know. I'm sure that maybe certain family members would have liked you to have come home. So to make that decision, that just kind of emphasizes the sacrifices that are required to try and become the greatest on the planet, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, this game requires everything. Of course, I mean, sacrifice is a huge part of this game. It would have been nice to be with my family, to be with my friends who live around the world that are all flying home, all these sorts of things, especially in Christmas in Ireland. It's a whole different ball game. Like, that's the biggest thing of the year, because we don't have the best summertime. So it's like Christmas, we drink Guinness, we party with our friends, we all congregate together. It's a very special time in Ireland. But to be honest, Adam, like, I kind of enjoyed sacrificing it all. There was a part of me that really enjoyed that, because I know what's required for this fight, and I know what's required or where I may potentially have to go in this fight to get the win, and that is to the depths of hell to beat this man, and I'm fully prepared to do it.
Where does that mentality come from? Talk to me about, like, is it people that are around you that have kind of influenced that mentality as you've been growing up, or has it just always been this way?
It's been this way just with me. I've I think when I started fighting professionally, I had my pro debut pretty early when I was 19. Had a very successful debut, kind of went semi-viral around the world. 19 years old, little baby face, knocked the guy out in 90 seconds. And I remember from that point going, right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go all in this year. You can see I've got a little tattoo here, all in. I just decided that this is going to be my destiny. This is going to be my pathway in life. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, there's absolutely no reason for me to be sitting here in front of you from where I come from. I come from rural Ireland where there wasn't really much of an MMA scene. I've had to seek out the pathway and seek out the coaches, which I've thankfully now found in my team in Belfast, to get to this position. There's nothing has been handed to me. I just had to decide, right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to become the best in the world at the hardest sport in the world, and that's it. So every single decision I make for the rest of my life must be with the orientation in mind that I have to be the best, and that's what I've done, and I've never lost sight of that, and that is what has got me through all the obstacles in my career. That's what's got me here right now, is that deep internal drive.
Do you think that then enables you to be able to deal with underdog mentality? Because this is not the first time that maybe the bookmakers have got you the underdog going into a fight. You've been here on countless occasions before. You've showed up countless occasions before. Do you think it's what you've just been referring to there that has put you in good stead to be able to deal with those situations and rise when the moment comes?
Yeah, look, as I said in the AJ fight when I was being massively counted out, I think people after seeing that are kind of giving me more of a chance now with Usman. But before AJ, it was like, this is way too much too soon. Why would you kill off a prospect now? AJ's way too good for him. But what I always said was, you never ever doubt a competitor like me, because I am the ultimate competitor. So to me, you can call me an underdog all you want, but I find a way to win, always, and I will do the same with Usman.
Can you drag him into a fight?
100%. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drag him into a fight. I'm going to drag him into deep waters, places that he has never been before. People haven't tested him enough. They haven't fought him enough. They haven't got him to these dark places enough. He's never been there. He's also never fought in front of a crowd that we're going to bring here on Saturday night in Dubai. He's never fought that high of a pressure fight. He's never fought somebody that he's had a personal beef with. He'll never have experienced the walkouts that we're going to bring. This is going to play many, many factors into my advantage. Experience that I have already gained in the regional scene. Like these Cage Warriors World title fights that I were having, unbelievably high pressure. Way more high pressure than I feel now. I felt a lot more pressure for these fights. This feels like another day in the office. This feels like I've been here before, and I've always delivered. I've always came out on top. I've had to dig through hard adversities during fights. I've had to go to dark places to win fights, but I've always fucking won them. So that's where my confidence comes from.
That's kind of what I wanted to allude to. I know your skill level. I know his skill level. I've seen you go to those deep waters. For example, I could bring in the Morgan Charrier fight, okay? I haven't seen that as of yet from Usman. I'm not doubting it. It might be there. But we're only going to find out if someone can take him there. Do you think this fight on Saturday night is going to be more about will rather than skill?
Yeah, to a degree. Now, of course, the skill aspect of this fight and fighting the correct fight is unbelievably important for me. I must stick to my game plan. I must not get over eager, and I must implement the game plan perfectly. But I really feel that that's actually one of my best strengths. You know, if you look at my game, it's kind of hard to go, he's really good at this, or he's really good at that. I'm kind of one of these guys where like it's hard to pinpoint what I'm actually good at. But I always win, and I always seriously hurt people. I'm good at finding holes in people's games, and I'm good at implementing it on fight night when it really matters. And I'm just a competitor. I know how to win. I can find the holes. And I know that I can do that with Usman. Like I've heavily studied his game. I know where the holes are. But as I say, the longer that this fight goes on, and the more that I can drag him into the deeper waters, the more and more it plays into my favor.
The fight has obviously been heightened with what Khabib said about Irish fighters and Dagestan fighters. I've seen you speak about it, and I think you've been quite fair regarding, well, if you look at rankings and you look at the current situation, there's an element of truth in what Khabib's saying. On Saturday night, does that change?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that they're ahead right now. I mean, we're 1-0 down to Dagestan right now. I'm about to make it 1-1. And I think it absolutely will change on Saturday night. I think in the fashion that I'm going to get Usman out of there, I think it's going to really turn heads. And hopefully, you know, the younger Irish fighters coming up can look at this and go, you know what? We are a very small nation. We don't have that many fighters, but we can do it. We can do it for sure.
What does it make you feel like when you know full well there's going to be plane loads of Irish fans jumping on and getting over here? Obviously, it's a fantastic place to come and watch fights, let's be honest. The weather's brilliant, the facilities are sensational. But they're coming here for a reason at the weekend, and that is to follow you. What does that make you feel like?
It feels great. It's something I'm very grateful for, that people like will spend their hard-earned money to come all the way to the Middle East to watch me fight. It's a great feeling, and I really do feel the support. But as mentioned about like the Cage Warriors days and that kind of tenure I had there, I've had incredible support for many years now, and it's just kept building and building. But it's been like a nice slow burn. It's like real fans who really care and who have really been with me for years now. It's been over 3 years since my first world title fight. So I've got like a really strong, dedicated supporter base. So that motivates me to perform even more, you know. And I know whenever I beat Usman on Saturday night, people are just going to lose their minds, like, because you put myself in their shoes. They're following me. There's this kid from rural Ireland that, like, there's no real reason for me to be here. Like, there really isn't. Like, there's where I come from is just like there's no MMA. Like, I just had to fight. I had to seek it out. And I feel like if I was to put myself in their shoes, it would just be kind of a cool thing to witness that rise, and then now to do it on the biggest stage of all.
Everything in Fight Week, from watching you and observing you, seems to be well thought out. So I've no doubt there's a nice fit sorted for Saturday night, man.
Absolutely.
You've got to look good when you're arriving at the Coca-Cola Arena.
Oh, I've got a custom suit all set out, ready to go.
Full kit?
Yeah, full kit. Ready to go. I can't wait to whip it out. Post-fight interviews, I'm going to be looking good.
Fantastic. I saw your interview with Ariel, so I'm going to give you the opportunity now to continue getting that sponsorship deal with the geezers that are making these burritos back to
done.
Right, come on.
It's done.
You've got it now, have you?
It's done.
So they've seen the interview with Ariel, and they've gone, listen, we're sorry, man, for letting you down.
Well, here, I can clip this up and send it to them just in case, just give them a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure they've got me a black card. They're working on it anyway now. They've given me unlimited free vouchers for food, which I might need to look at doing the welterweight belt next, but they're working on a black card, and that's me. Like, that's me.
So
I've made it.
I've made it. Any time now, and you go, whatever the order is.
Once I get the black card, look, I haven't got it quite yet, so I might have to clip this up and put the pressure on.
All right.
Once I get the black card, it's a done deal. I just walk in and go, here.
Name check them, so then they're not.
Boojum.
Boojum.
Unbelievable. I love you so much.
They're across out, and they've started coming to the UK as well. So obviously, people in England now can obviously
start in Belfast, and now they're branching out.
Okay, there you go. Allegedly, they make the best burritos in the world.
100%. No, better in Mexico.
When people are tuning in, obviously Boojum fueled at the weekend, mate. What can these fans expect from you on Saturday night?
Something special. And the birth of a MMA's new superstar. I truly feel that within my being now. I feel like how things have just been lining up and how things have been going. I think it's inevitable that whenever I beat Usman here, that it's just off to the stratosphere. I really see this happening now for me.